Yo, what is up guys? It's me Zaza, back bringing you more daily NBA news. Thank you as always for checking back in. I really appreciate it. But now let's take a quick look at everything that went down in the NBA yesterday. But first, a quick word from this video sponsor, SeatGeek. This is the absolute best ticket purchasing app that you could ever ask to find. Not only a ticket purchasing app, but it's the best way to buy tickets. Any game, any concert, anything you name it. If it's a live event, they got you covered. And I got you covered too, because you can use the promo code SDC at checkout to get $20 off your first order. Links to download will be in the description box below, but now let's just get into the video. First up in the news, Zaza Pachulia is back in the news. And it seems like every time he's in the news, it's never for anything good. It's always something like this. So the Warriors took on the Thunder again last night, and as always, things got a bit heated between KD and Melo for a bit. Draymond got his 15th technical of the year. You know, it was a typical Thunder versus Warriors game. But what really overshadowed everything else that was going on in the game is what happened between Zaza Pachulia and Russell Westbrook. As late in the third quarter, with the Warriors up 9, it appears that Zaza Pachulia purposely fell onto Russell Westbrook's legs. Take a look.
Adams grabs the rebound. Westbrook the high dribble. Forced that one up. Bodies falling on the floor. Here comes Curry.
It gets even clear that this could have been intentional when viewing it in slow motion. Just from my eyes, it seemed like he saw Westbrook on the ground, thought about it, and decided to try and capitalize on the situation. So he slowly and strategically fell on top of him. And this sent the NBA world into an uproar. First off, we all know this isn't the first time that Zaza has been involved in something like this. It's not even the first time that he's tried to do something to Russell Westbrook. You guys remember back in the Western Conference Finals as well last year when he was the guy that was responsible for taking down Kawhi Leonard, and that caused Greg Popovich to go on a tirade.
This particular individual has a history with that kind of action.
I know you guys remember that. Now, luckily Russ was fine after this incident, but I can only imagine the level of anger that people would have been feeling had he actually gotten hurt. But even though he wasn't hurt, that didn't stop him from calling out Zaza Pachulia after the game. Take a look.
What happened with that play when Zaza fell on your leg?
What you mean what happened? What you think what happened?
I don't know. I couldn't see.
Don't lie. Don't lie. You couldn't see it. You saw the instant replay 4 times. What happened?
He fell on your leg.
Thank you. Don't ask me a dumb question you know the answer to.
You think it was intentional?
Did you see it? What it look like? What it look like? Did anybody touch him? Yes or no?
I didn't see the replay yet.
Oh, you didn't see it? But why you asking about something you didn't see?
I just saw
well,
the
then,
line.
well, then, if you didn't see it, don't ask me a question. Don't ask me dumb questions, man. Obviously, it was intentional. So don't ask me, was it intentional? Nobody touched me, fell over my leg, tried to hurt me, you know. But hey, that's how I go.
Do you think that's something the NBA needs to look into?
Hey man, they'll see it and look at it. You know what I'm saying? They'll see it.
Do you think, you've had a couple run-ins with Zaza, do you think he's a dirty player?
Yeah, for sure.
I could watch Russell Westbrook get interviewed all day long. He literally had the reporters answering their own questions and afterwards was telling them not to ask him dumb questions. You just look at his face and the thing where he does with his eyes where he like blinks extremely fast. It's pure gold. He's such a jerk to those reporters, but I don't know, I find it hilarious. But yeah, he also called Zaza Pachulia a dirty player, straight up, as did Kyrie Irving. As on the clip of this incident on Instagram, Kyrie Irving left this comment: "The league has to take a look at this man. That is ridiculous." So that's how Kyrie Irving feels. As for Zaza Pachulia, we got reports that when he was informed of Russell Westbrook calling him a dirty player, he said that Westbrook was childish for that. After reading Westbrook's quote from a reporter's phone, Pachulia shook his head before calling Westbrook's accusations childish. I don't want to go back and forth on these kind of things. That's not the case. So he says he is innocent. Of course he does. But overall though, I just don't see how anyone can say this was an accident on Zaza Pachulia's part. He had absolutely no reason to fall like he did. And he knew Russell Westbrook was behind him. He looked back and saw him. And just to think that there's a player in the NBA that would intentionally try and hurt another player like this, it's disturbing. He could have seriously messed messed up Russell Westbrook's knee, or maybe even broke his leg or his ankle. Numerous things can happen when someone falls on top of your legs like that. So I do believe that the league needs to take a look at this, and they need to take action and do something. And it has to be something more than just a fine. They had to try and make it so this kind of thing doesn't happen again. Next up in the news, we got another little Markelle Fultz shot update. And I'm not going to talk about this for too long because there isn't that much to say, but we did get some possibly great news as a video of him making a turnaround fadeaway jumper went pretty viral yesterday. Take a look. That shot looked good. I can't lie, it looked freaking phenomenal. His form looked great. His form on both those shots looked great. We didn't get to see whether or not he made the second one, but it doesn't matter as much if he made it as how his form looked when he released it, and when he released it, it looked good, and that's all that matters. That being said, you guys know the policy that I have on Markelle Fultz already. Until I see him back on the court, lacing up, playing in a game, and making jumpers on a consistent basis, I can't take too much away from this, because I have been fooled time and time again in the past, where a video like this will come out where everything looks fine, he looks great, but then the very next day his shot looks broken again. So as much as I want to see Markelle Fultz back on the court, I cannot get my hopes up because of this. But that being said, I do hope that this is his form now, that this is something they'll be seeing every day and he'll get closer to returning, even though I don't expect him to return this season. In other news, we also have an update on the Jimmy Butler situation. We all know that he went down in an injury in the Wolves' last game. Now after the game, the Wolves said that they were optimistic that Jimmy Butler didn't tear his ACL, and it seems like they were right to be optimistic because Jimmy Butler did not tear his ACL, as he got tests done on his injury yesterday, and it was determined that he suffered a meniscal injury. Now this will still require surgery, but instead of it taking a full year to recover from like an ACL tear, he will just be out for at least the next 4 to 6 weeks, assuming everything goes right, which means that he will be back just in time for the NBA playoffs if it takes the full 6 weeks. However, that also means the Wolves will have to try their best for the rest of the regular season to try and stay in the playoff race without Jimmy Butler. They currently have the 3rd seed, the 37-26 record, but that doesn't mean they are safe. They are far from safe, as they are only 2.5 games up on the AC. But not only that, get this, there are only 3.5 games separating them from falling out of the playoffs completely. Yes, you heard that right. It is possible that because of this Jimmy Butler injury, that the Minnesota Timberwolves could still miss the playoffs if he doesn't come back until the season ends. So what that means is that everyone else on this Wolves team is going to have to step up big time. Karl-Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Jeff Teague, they're all gonna need to pick their games up, because it would be beyond tragic if after having such a good season for the Wolves to fall out of the playoffs because of a late season injury to Jimmy Butler. Lastly, in the news, Kevin Love is always the butt of everyone's jokes when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers for the most part, and he might be sick of it, as Barstool Sports made a little joke about Kevin Love on Twitter yesterday when they used this video with the caption reading, "Kevin Love trying his best to fit in with the Cavs." I can't lie though, when I saw this, I did get a pretty good laugh out of it. Think I've seen something like it before, but still, I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe Kevin Love didn't though, as he replied to Barstool Sports by saying this: "Still trying my best to fit in? Check out this primo package. Once again, joke's on you," with an attached video of him showing off his championship ring. Take a look. Overall though, as for what Kevin Love did, I guess this is what you gotta do, and people are gonna keep poking fun of you, people are gonna keep blaming you. You're gonna have to remind them of what you've done and who you are. He's won a ring with the Cleveland Cavaliers, so it's kind of hard to say that he doesn't fit in. And that is going to lead us to the question of the day. Today's question of the day is this: what do you guys think the NBA should do about Zaza Pachulia? Should he be punished? If so, how would you punish him? Let me know down in the comment section below. But now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after the NC NCAA scandal broke out, where the FBI released documents of 2 years of monitoring phone calls from some of the schools and some of the players, where some of the schools were caught paying players illegally to come play for them. I asked you guys, what you think about this? What do you think should be done to punish the teams? And should the NCAA start paying their players now? And here's what you said. The NCAA should pay the players or at least let them have endorsements. As for punishment, they're gonna have to wait until the season is over as to not to hurt their revenue. They should punish the organizations after March Madness, but definitely needs to pay the players. The NCAA pulls bank from these players and they get no money from them. The majority of you are saying that the only way to fix this is for the NCAA to pay the players, and you are right. Even if they don't want to pay the players and just allow them to have endorsements, there will still be schools going under the table illegally paying players to come play for them. That's just how things are going to work. So the only way to actually stop this is to pay the players in the first place. As for punishments, yeah, they gotta wait. There's no way that they're going to ruin March Madness because of this, but afterwards we will see punishments being handed down. It'll be interesting to see if the team that wins gets stripped of their title banner. Don't forget to leave your answer for today's question of the day down in the comment section below, as well as subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on this video if you haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate it. But now let's take a quick look at the games from last night. We know about the drama from this game, but I didn't really talk about the game itself, and honestly the Warriors needed this to be the outcome. There was no way that they could afford to lose, or even worse, get blown out by the Thunder again this year. 112-80 the final score in this one, as Golden State was able to pull away late. I just want to see a good close game that goes down to the wire between these two teams for once. KD led the way for Golden State with 28 points, while Curry added 21. Is it just a coincidence that the Sixers haven't lost since Philly won the Super Bowl? That must have just lit a fire under this team or something. They've won their 8th straight game over the Orlando Magic, 116-105. Joel Embiid with 28 points and 14 rebounds. Yo, Trey Burke, you trying to come play for Detroit? You played college ball for Michigan, so I think it's time for you to come home. Dude continues to ball out for New York. 26 points and 8 assists for him off the bench last night, but still the Knicks lost to Boston 121-112, because while Burke was great, Irving was just a bit better, as he trumps Burke's 26 points and 8 assists with 31 points, 8 assists and 9 rebounds of his own. I feel like this was the closest the Suns have ever gotten to winning a game in a very long time. They only lost by 2 to Portland yesterday, 106-104, and maybe they would have won if it weren't for Damian Lillard scoring 40 points on the night, including 19 in the 4th quarter alone. Oh, and he also hit the game-winning shot with under a second left to go. Dame does what Dame does. Zach LaVine played his first game back in Minnesota since he was traded, and personally he had a solid game with 21 points, 7 assists and 6 rebounds. However, even without Jimmy Butler, the Wolves were still able to get the 122-104 win over Chicago. This is a good sign. Need to keep winning, as you had guys across the board stepping their games up, including Jeff Teague, who had 25 points, 7 rebounds and 7 assists. As a Pistons fans, I know how Lakers fans who watched this game last night felt. Like, finally, we paid this guy all this money and he finally has a good game. KCP every now and then will have a game which makes you think he has potential to be one of the top 2 guys in the league, and then he just falls off for the next couple of games. He had the best shooting night of his career last night, though, with 34 points, hitting 8 of his 14 triple attempts to get the Lakers the 113-108 win over Sacramento. After they had the winning streak snapped by the Blazers the other night, the Jazz picked themselves right back up to get the 97-90 win over Dallas. Then again, I'd be surprised if Dallas wins another game at all this year, after Mark Cuban specifically told them to try and lose the rest of their games. Donovan Mitchell dropped 25. Lastly, the Grizzlies got blown out again, this time by the Heat, 115-89, as the race to the bottom continues to heat up. Tyler Johnson scored 23 for Miami. And that wraps up all the action from last night. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news, as well as join the quest to 200,000 subscribers, #1,000,000 in a year. Remember to vote for the player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, that player was none other than Anthony Davis, and his 45 points, 17 rebounds, 5 steals, and 5 blocks. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, I am out of here.